a very limited view. There's male, there's female, that's all there could possibly be. And I found that that's not true at all.
Rockin' Man!
The Smiths are raising 3 children in the American South, including their adopted son, Patrick. He's a hermaphrodite.
Teams.
I'm cheating! I think he feels much more masculine than he does feminine. Pretty much from the beginning, he was much more like my other son than my daughter.
He's always liked to play rough, loves skateboarding just like me, and rollerblading, bikes.
The Smiths have had their hands full protecting Patrick, not only from the spills of rough play, but from something far more menacing, the doctors. They wanted to turn this rambunctious little boy into a girl. There was no happy announcement of "it's a boy" when Patrick came into the world. As the adoptive mother, Helena attended the birth.
They didn't say anything. It was very tense in the room. It was very quiet in the room, and they just wanted to take Patrick out. And I looked up, and there was the doctor who was there, and then like 15 people with them. And I was like, what is going on here? And then they took him away. This doctor went on to say that they couldn't tell if this was a boy or a girl, and I'm in my head saying, what do you mean you don't know if it's a boy or a girl? You're a doctor. I know the difference between a boy and a girl. You know, why don't you know the difference between a boy and a girl? Then he went on to say that that he wasn't formed perfectly, and that there was a question, and that they needed to do some tests.
Patrick had a tiny penis and a single testicle. Internally, he had an ovary and a fallopian tube. The medical staff wouldn't tell Helena where they had taken Patrick. She frantically searched the hospital and found him, even though he was healthy, in the intensive care unit.
When they saw me looking at him and looking through the window, they drew the curtains and they took him into a back room. And they said, no, you can't see him. The doctors are with him, and you're going to have to wait. That's when I first got the idea that there was something really wrong, and that he was much more sick than they were trying to let me know.
Helena feared the worst, that her baby was going to die. She finally got to see him after 2 agonizing days.
So took off his diaper, and to me, I was looking saying, this is a boy. He's got things I don't have, and clearly, you know, if you have a penis and a testicle, you're a boy. And they said, well, no, that's not necessarily true. I said, well, explain to me, why not? They said, well, sometimes things look different than they really are.
Tests showed that half of Patrick's male chromosomes were missing. The doctor wanted to surgically turn him into a girl.
The days are stretching longer and longer. He's in there 5 days, he's in there 6 days, he's in there 7 days. I'm like, when can I take him home? And they're like, well, no, we need to tell you that this is a girl, and you need to decide this is a girl. And I'm like, I don't think so.
Helena says the doctor and his team of medical consultants tried a new approach with her.
Although they told me that because of him missing a chromosome, he was going to be short and he was going to be retarded, and that I wouldn't want to adopt him. And I was like, yes, I do. I love him. I want to take him home. I don't care what your problem is. You know, he's mine, and I'm taking him home.
Helena's stubbornness paid off. After 11 days, Patrick left the hospital intact.
We took him home in a tux. I got so mad at them, I put him in a tux and I took him home with a little bow tie on him because I wanted to, you know, tell him, so there. That was the beginning of a long, bitter battle between myself and the doctor.
Here, Pepe.
Where's the Twinkie?
The Smiths were now in a fight to protect their little boy from a doctor who wanted to turn him into a girl. That doctor even told them not to give him a name until corrective surgery could be performed.
To me, I was like, no, we're naming him Patrick, and we're going to take him home as Patrick, and we're going to tell everybody, because we're proud of him, we're glad, he belongs in our family, we've wanted him for a long time, and we're telling everybody. But the doctor wasn't finished. He told the Smiths Patrick's single testicle might become cancerous and should be removed. And he kept insisting, I want to take it out. And I said, I'm not letting you take it out. And he said, well, can I do a biopsy then? I said, well, I don't have a problem with you taking a couple of little samples, and that's it. So we went to the surgery, and I thought, okay, that's all they're going to do. And the doctor came out, and he told us that he had to remove it because it was malignant. Patrick's testicle was gone. He'd been castrated. Helena demanded the pathology report. The doctor reluctantly turned it over, only after she refused to leave his office without it. On the very first page, a stunning revelation. The first line of it was that it was a normal, healthy testicle tissue. And I'm like, that's not cancer. This doesn't make sense. How can they do this? How can they remove an organ, first of all, without consent? Because I got the consent form, and sure enough, it only said biopsy. He didn't have permission to remove it. And the fact that it was healthy and that Patrick was in no imminent danger. I'm reading all these reports going, why is this going on? Why did this guy do this to Patrick?
Uh-huh. Do it like me. Who's the one?
The Smiths are suing, but that cannot change what happened to Patrick. He is now a eunuch. Prior to these surgeries, he clearly had a penis and a testicle and looked that way. Now he just has a mass of skin that covers up a very tiny penis that you can't see. The surgery took away Patrick's natural ability to produce testosterone.
I'm gonna ask her.
He's very small for his age. He's very short for his age. He has no muscle tone. He can't keep up with the other kids playing. A lot of times when he's playing, he has to stop and he has to rest or he has to sit down.
Oh! Very good at it.
Let's go! He was about a year and a half or 2 years old, and he looked up at me one day with kind of almost a sad look on his face and said, Daddy, is I gonna be a big boy? And it just kind of like tugs at your heart a little bit, and what he's had to go through, I just looked at him and said, yes, you will be.
For now, Patrick is taking growth hormones. Later, he'll get testosterone to keep him looking male. He'll need to take it all his life.